that you pointed out that growth, at least in your digital push here, does that mean as well lesser transactions in your brick and mortar stores or the traditional outlets?
Definitely, definitely. If you would put it on your own personal experience, prior to the pandemic, I go to the branch. You go to the
Mhm.
branch maybe 6 times a year. Since the pandemic started, have you ever been to a branch lobby to withdraw or to deposit? No, everything's done online now. Now
Mhm.
the challenge is, how do we make it better for customer experience? That they will come on repeating and doing this for their lifetime, doing online via their application. And that is the challenge we are ready to face.
Mm. Do you see a possibility of veering away from your brick and mortar stores, meaning lesser and lesser branches, and
We,
really focusing more on your
that's a
digital?
very good question. Yes, that's a very good question, Jess. And everybody's always asking that, even analysts do ask that. You've seen that we have reduced around 40 branches even prior to the pandemic, because that is the goal. You have to reduce the spaces that you are in, because digitization, not only digitalizing your products, but it produces efficiency on how you operate. And one of those efficiencies is the real estate sector that you are in. You need to reduce the real estate that you are in because of digitalization. That's a consequence of being efficient, operating efficiencies.
Okay, you mentioned 40 branches, lesser by 40
I,
branches pre-pandemic. By how much more do you think will you be slimming down your network in the coming, at least in the coming year?
I think for now we continue to be at that level already. In fact, we might be adding some branches after having cut those branches. We are ready to put in more branches in those areas that we do think there's a very good potential for growth for these kinds of activities. You cannot totally do away with branches, because some people
Mhm.
would just want to walk in and talk to you guys. But then again, the goal is, in the future, in the very near future, why can't somebody, an individual, do borrow without going to a branch? So that is the objective. I think that's where digitalization will go to, being efficient
Mhm.
for both the bank and the borrowers.
Okay, now let's focus more on your loan book here. Like what you mentioned earlier, you did see growth in your customer loans and CASA deposits. That's amid the pandemic. How long do you see this trend going, or this upward trend? How long do you see this going?
Yes, yes, because like we did some acquisition or acquired new borrowers from the market. We did get
Mhm.
very good market share in this. We did concentrate on focusing on corporate borrowers and SME. We are financing their working capital requirements for the past year and months, and some project financing. How do we see the market? From the very start of this year, we made the call that the economy of the Philippines will still be very good. That it will end up something like our house call will be something like 5.5% by the end of the year. It did 7% by third quarter. Our call was 6.5, which was very close to that 7%. We still think that economic activity, or the GDP for the Philippines by next year, will still be higher than what we've registered today. That, having
Mhm.
said that, we do think that lending activity will increase by next year.
All right. Does that mean as well that there's no more fear of your asset quality deteriorating, especially now that the
No,
economy is slowly reopening?
yes, we do think that, and I think the whole banking industry does think, but I only speak for our bank. We do think that the asset quality, it will stay as it is and improve for the coming year and years. Your ratios, or your NPL ratios, might not be as low as pre-pandemic, but I think we are going to get there in the coming years.
Do you see that happening at least in the near term by as early as 2022?
Yes, definitely. In the coming years, it's maybe in 2 years, we
All
should be
right.
going back to the pre-pandemic level.